2022. In the next 15 minutes, let's talk about some of the big business stories today.
Yes, now do remember we are streaming live already up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. You can join the live stream and leave your comments there for you to join the conversation. You can also send WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 981 and tweet at us. Tag us at smooth981 in your tweets, and we will be able to get to them.
All right, so we have two guests joining in, but first, Rotis is with us. Good morning, Rotis.
Hey, good morning, Victor. Good morning, Sope. Good morning to all our viewers and listeners. Good to be with you all to start off the week.
Thank you very much for joining us. Always, that's to the listeners as well. Quickly, we have Lawrence Ali, who's an energy and climate economist. Good morning, Lawrence. Talk to us.
Yeah, good morning, Smooth FM. Good morning, Rotos, and good morning to your listeners. I'm happy to be here.
All right, and we also have Joseph Olaoluwa, who's an ICIR investigative journalist. And you know what? Great people to have on the show, Rotis, because today we're going to be talking about this question, right, of domestic airlines. Can domestic airlines replace Emirates? That's the question, because we know the news that came out. We actually just talked about it a couple of minutes ago.
Yes, in fact, there were a series of tweets put out by former Senator Ben Bruce with regards to foreign airlines leaving the country and how Nigeria should enhance local carriers. Rotas, let's get the conversation started.
Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, before even Ben Bruce, the House of Representatives apparently is putting out another stakeholders meeting. They've invited a number of people, Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele, Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed, Hadi Sirika, the Minister of Aviation, I think the CEO and MD of the Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Nu Shuaibu, and then a representative from IATA, International Air Travel Association, and also a country representative from Emirates Airlines. Our guests, Olaoluwa and Joseph, do you guys think that this meeting will yield any fruits? Do you even think the government officials will attend the meeting?
Do I go first?
Yes, please.
So I think we should try and let's break it down from the beginning. So where we are and where we are going. So Emirates plans to suspend flights, and let us give a simple analogy of what it means. You know, it's just like you're buying rice on credit. You know, you have this ERC that sells rice, and like this morning now, some of our listeners will be buying rice this morning. So and the month is coming to an end. So you say, okay, let's buy rice for the next 10 days till the month ends, and then I'll pay you when my salary is being paid, maybe at the end of the month. And then next month comes and you don't pay, and next upper month comes and you don't pay. Yeah, that's what Emirates is going through right now. They've offered services and they're not getting paid. Now the issue is that they don't have there's no forex, right? And the reason why we don't have forex is simple. Nigeria does no longer, like, the crude oil that we are producing is now being stolen. So that revenue that should come in is not coming in. So we don't have enough to then give people that we are owing, or people that need it, or that's for either businessmen or for people that do business generally. So this meeting should not be happening in the first place, because it looks like a little bit of an embarrassment. But then, while the meeting is happening, the crude oil theft is still ongoing. So the means to even pay them, this meeting, I don't know if that meeting would achieve that means, because we don't know, like, where are we going to get the money from? We are borrowing a lot of money these days. So it's yet to be seen how fruitful this meeting will be, what will happen, whether there will be a stopgap, whether there will surely be an alignment or a plan of a way of action. Of course, this meeting will lead to that, but how it will be implemented is yet to be seen.
Thanks for that, Joseph. Lawrence, just because of time, let me quickly hop on to Ben Bruce's tweets. What do you make of his tweet saying that he believes that this is the time for domestic airlines to fill in the gap if Emirates stops flying to and
You know
from
what,
Nigeria?
Rotis, can I actually read these tweets out in case anybody hasn't seen them?
Of course, go ahead.
Great. So he says that now that foreign airlines are leaving the country, now is the time we enhance our local carriers to fly internationally. Now is the time to show patriotism. If necessary, a law must be passed to compel public servants to fly our national carriers. Anything outside of this is instant dismissal. The only exception is if our national carrier doesn't fly that route. And when this happens, if you see any government official flying any foreign airline on a route that our national carriers fly, snap a picture of them and shame them. Enough is enough. What do we make of that?
Thank you, Sope. Lawrence, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Senator Bruce should be commended for his patriotism. If this is how we wake up from our slumber, then so be it. I can say, however, that patriotism is not enough. Some have politicized the Emirates announcement, right? If you watch other airlines, they're also adjusting to their prices to reflect current realities. For example, the outbound leg of international flights out of Lagos, right, are now costing double of what it takes to travel out of Accra, same destinations, right? So some of the other airlines are building in the cost of the delay, right, in repatriating their funds and the opportunity cost and optionality of tapping into the FX market at parallel rates, right, by raising prices. So this tells me that the concerns that Emirates has, they are real. And these issues also affect local carriers, given that they do not have the capacity to localize a major portion of the operational costs. If you look at fuel, look at aircraft maintenance, you even look at the contractual terms, the key stuff like pilots are under, right? These are benchmarked internationally, which is tied to FX rates. We had an aviation development roadmap, right, which was unveiled in 2015. That's probably the latest one. And it included developing a national carrier, airport concessioning, getting an aviation leasing company, a maintenance organization, and an improved workforce in place. We have basically not implemented any of these plans, to be honest. The one that has got the most noisy has been the national carrier thing, and we haven't even made progress on that, right? If you want to do it, there are ways to properly do that. But my point is that the local airlines, if you think about, for example, their sea-level checks, right? This for Boeing 737s, this has cost nearly $1.5 to $2 million, right? And they still need FX as well to run those. So I guess if this is what it takes to wake up to the reality of, hey, we have to implement some of the promises we've made to ourselves to improve our local airline industry, right? Then it's good. But if we think that the local airlines will just come in on the short term and replace what the foreign airlines are offering, it's a tough call.
Okay, we got this message in from Benga Akamu, who says, did those airlines not make the money they want to remit back to their countries? Why is the CBN not allowing them to do so? Despite high prices, we gather that airlines are booked full. So much for hardship in Nigeria. And also says, is the theft of crude oil enough to put Nigeria in this mess? The rest of the money, we tend to over-focus on only one area.
Thanks for that, Benga. Thanks, Lawrence. Joseph, let me come back to you. Should we be allocating foreign exchange to travel? I'm looking at data from the CBN showing that anywhere from between 1.5 billion to $2.5 billion was spent on personal travel, business travel, and so on and so forth. There's a 41-item ban list, which is mostly goods, where items are not allowed to access the official foreign exchange window. Meanwhile, services are completely allowed. Maybe I hope if there's time, quickly throw it to Lawrence. Joseph, what do you think about allocated FX to travel and other services?
Well, I think some things should be clear. Aviation is not elitist. Aviation is not elitist. So let's not say that aviation is for the senators or for some people think that way. But the truth is that each of us in this conversation, we can have an international meeting tomorrow, and we need to fly briefly. Then you will now understand that aviation should not be elitist. There are carriers that are budget carriers abroad that carry you with your hand luggage, not so expensive. So we're not saying budget FX for travel. We're saying budget FX for services. Let us prioritize what is important. There are some list of goods banned for forex. They should remove that list and let people that need forex should have the forex. People that need forex are the importers, because Nigeria is an import-dependent economy, and the next people that need that forex are business people. aviation is not elitist. So it's for also a common man should be able to fly. If you can manage an economy class, let him manage an economy class, and let the rich people fly business class. So let the aviation people have some forex for their maintenance, for airline maintenance, which is in dollars, for aviation fuel, which is also in dollars. Aside, the whole idea of giving forex or not, aside of that fact, aviation needs some waivers like custom duty waivers like VAT waivers. So you may not necessarily give them forex, but you can give them waivers. You can create an economy whereby you can have an MRO in the country so that they don't spend $1 million, $1 to $3 million on aviation maintenance for aircraft.
Lawrence, you agree real quick?
Yes, I do agree with him. I mean, if we go down this slippery slope, I at some point we'll probably start asking, are we subsidizing the rich, in quotes, for bringing in spare parts for machineries, vehicles, generators, and things like that, right? I don't see it as a class problem. It's our FX regime is a major problem actually. The multiple FX regimes that we run, and that should be looked into actually.
All right, so we have a message here from Ogenochuku, who says we must provide an enabling business environment to attract investors. Policy flip-flops is absolutely nonsense. And Prince has a message.
Yes, now Prince says it's becoming difficult to use using flight times in Nigeria to schedule appointments. I came in last night and to connect to from Lagos to Abuja, my flight has been shifted by 2 hours this morning. Yeah, actually, those kind of shifting sands are really not helpful business-wise.
So annoying. Real quick, I know we're almost out of time. Lawrence and Joseph, just very, very quickly. Jet fuel is still very high. I think Lawrence already mentioned the fact that tickets have doubled. Very quickly, because the show is practically over. Can Nigerian Airlines diversify their revenue streams? Very quickly, Joseph, and then Lawrence.
Well, let us not fool ourselves. Aviation is not a business for charlatans. It's a money business. You don't put one aircraft in the sky and expect that manna will fall. It's a service. You understand? The only way we can get that money is from that service. So let's say, okay, you can't be doing anything else. You understand? It's either you fly or you don't fly. So that's how you make your money. You are selling or you don't sell. So maybe we can say alternatively, maybe they can do to make more money. They can maybe do charter services. But ultimately, what airlines should consider as trying to be more revenue buoyant, let them try and create a spring alliance. Air Peace has 31 aircraft based on Plane Spotter. Eric Air has 18 aircraft based on Plane Spotter, the data from Plane Spotter. Most of the airlines, aside from Eric Air and Air Peace, don't have up to that capacity of planes. So why don't all of them that don't have as much as Air Peace does or Eric does come together in a spring alliance and deliver services to a stronger audience with a recapitalized money? That way they can then cut their losses and make more money that way. So I don't think there'll be any other way to make the money other than keep the aircraft flying and keep keep the business running, basically.
Lawrence, what do you think? We're almost out of time.
And I agree with Sope. There are services that they can partner with, not just even in Nigeria. There are smaller airlines in our neighboring countries. There are a lot of trips that happen within Africa that they can partner with them, and that way they share flights. That helps to reduce costs. The other thing is to work with tourism providers, hospitality providers like hotels, and try to increase passenger flows. But those are really trying to raise revenue, trying to cut costs a little bit. On the long term, or on the short term, these issues will persist for a while. We're hoping that perhaps when Dangote refinery comes in, right, the fact that it refines jet fuel and the fact that there's probably going to be more FX because we're importing, we're spending less money to import fuel, that may bring some reprieve to the sector.
All right, quickly before we go, Rotus, this is for you. April this year, the national carrier was supposed to begin. Where are we with that?
They're still saying it's going to happen this quarter. Whether or not that's a good idea, I'm not sure with all the profit issues. But then that's where Ben Murray Bruce wants us to go. So maybe it's possible. I just don't know how they're going to do it when other airlines that are private sector are facing issues.
All right, and I think that is that.
Yes, thank you very much for being a part of the show, Lawrence Ali, as well as Joseph Olaoluwa. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, you can continue the conversation with Rotus by finding him on Twitter, even Instagram at Rotanquote. And of course, you can replay if you just tuned in or you missed out most of the conversation. You can catch the replay up on youtube.com/smooth981FM.
All right, that's about it. Let's do this again tomorrow at 6:30. Good morning.
Express, brought to you by InterSwitch.